Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Survivor Reignited here on World Championship Wreckage's YouTube channel. As always, I am your friendly neighborhood dad hat wearing wrestling fan, joined by my side, my buddy all the way from the West Coast up there in Washington State. What's up, Michael? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Bubba?
Long week. To put it in perspective, I only worked 4 days this week, and I worked 50 hours. So you can see how tired I am. But that's life.
That's actually impressive.
It could have been more, believe me. It could have been more, but I had to draw a line somewhere and just be like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home sometime. So, but we're back. We're talking about Survivor. We're still in the middle of the Marquesas. We're 6 episodes in, so we're gonna, get the next couple, get through episode 10 here on this episode here of Survivor Reignited. But how are we feeling about Marquesas at this point?
It's
we're
getting better. I'm
getting
getting more entertained.
Yeah. Gina just got the boot at the last tribal council. So we're still in there's some interesting things going on. Episode 7, it's, I don't know the best way to put this. Some of the players, I feel like, I don't know if they've watched any other seasons.
That's what I've been wondering, if they just signed up for a show just because they heard about it and they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. One of the biggest things, one of the biggest relationships, of course, is Pascal and Nalia. Just like kind of we had in Australia with Roger and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
We get that kind of grandfather or father figure kind of relationship. So that's going really strong. Kathy is very nervous about that relationship, even though she's kind of aligned with them.
1 minute.
Yeah, you're cool. Over at Row 2, Boston Rob is not really happy with what's going on at the camp. Him and Sean are trying. They're trying to work something. And
Yeah.
V is just kind of still doing that. Y'all do your
Floating
thing. Yeah, she's definitely a little floater. So we start this episode, they get a notice of they each have to select one member from each tribe.
Right. Can we talk about the beginning of the episode when they found the skull?
Yeah. I'll let you take that.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Finding a human skull like right off the bat. And I was like, oh, well, that's an interesting way to start the episode.
Well, I mean, you're in a land of it had inhabitants, and
but I was just like, oh, okay, that's a great way to edit. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, here's a human skull.
Yeah. Why not? Shock value TV. But at least gameplay wise, they get a message in tree mail. They've got 5 minutes to select a survivor member, and they're going off to a destination unknown. Boston Rob volunteers for Row 2. Kathy was picked to go to Mariam, which is very funny. And you should remember this lunch, this meal for later seasons. That's what all I'm gonna say. Foreshadowing. Rob and Kathy, they meet Jeff at this very kind of tranquil, peaceful, kind of neutral territory. Jeff explains that they're being sent there. They're ambassadors. So we had this in season 1, where they were ambassadors. And it kind of felt like they were trying to get, the doctor and Jenna to, kind of something romantic, and this is definitely not that. They really do feel like they're ambassadors, and that they're going to be ambassadors with major decisions on the upcoming merge. They'll both spend the night to discuss. They got to figure out a tribe's new name. They're going to paint the flag.
Rob's manipulating way of speaking during this whole situation I was impressed. I was like, you slick bastard.
This is just the start. Just wait. He gets smoother and smoother with every season. They get food, so they're jacked about that. They get a feast of pizza and beer, which I feel like with Kathy and him, like that's right up their alley.
Oh yeah, no, they were ready to get drunk.
Like maybe not Big Tom drunk,
but they were ready to get have some fun.
But you're right. He's laying it on thick that like Kathy's former tribe mates, they're willing to align with him and Sean
and stab her in the back. Especially Zoe. He threw Zoe under the bus.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh, you're a slick bastard.
He has no shame. He wants to win this thing. Kathy makes a pact with Rob not to vote each other. They promise to not vote each other out before they go to sleep. When the next morning, Kathy and Rob both go back to Mariamu, and they told Nalia and Pascal they have 5 minutes to gather everything from their camp and put it on a raft, and then they're going to paddle to Rotu Beach. So they get to Rotu, and it's Kathy, Nalia, Pascal, Rob, Boston Rob. They, of course, everybody kind of knows what's going on at this point. But Kathy still got her guard up because she's, of what Rob said. They get purple buffs. And this new name is Soliantu. So
beautiful name.
Yeah, beautiful name. So Rotu and Mariamu are no more. Soliantu means sacred allegiance to the sun. It's fun, it's exciting, it's celebratory because it's the next phase in the game, but yet very quickly things get back to normal and the game is being played. Kathy approaches Pascal and explains why she feels vulnerable. And she's very much.
This is where Kathy kind of realizes you can't play the game without lying.
She wants to so bad, though.
I feel bad for the lady.
Yeah.
You have to compromise your morals just a bit.
Which, again, comes back to bite her in the butt. So, Rob questions Zoe. He threw her. You mentioned throwing her under the bus. He questions Zoe.
That was so great.
Yeah.
I was so hyped for this.
Yeah. So that he confronts Zoe whether she planned on voting for Kathy. Zoe denied Kathy, and Kathy was upset. Rob is clear that he's aggravated that he's being lied to, even though he's the one stirring the pot.
Yeah.
Right. And Kathy is like, this is when Kathy's like, I got to win immunity. Like, I have to win immunity. There's a reason why Boston Rob is considered the godfather of this game.
I now see it because that was beautifully done.
And like I said, this is him in his infancy. It gets better and better. There's one season, and I can't wait till we get to it. And there's no doubt, he has this alliance. And when I mean from day one, they are all starstruck with him, and he gets them to do anything and everything he wants.
Smart man.
Everything. There is no, it's like he sits like he's like, dang, never had to work so little in this game in my life. Like I just do whatever I say. We'll get to the immunity challenge. Each player has to stand on a floating platform of water. There's waves and it's moving. Whoever stays on the longest without falling or touching the platform, that's a big thing. Can't touch it either. Like if you lose your balance, you can't put your hand to catch you. No, that'll get you out. It comes down to two players, John and
needed
Kathy.
it the most.
We can't always say that in an immunity, but the two that needed it the most, John and Kathy. And John, the fatal mistake, he leaned down and touched his platform, giving Kathy the immunity necklace, and she very much needed it. Do you think Kathy would have been voted out next if she had not had
Probably.
it? Really? I don't know if she would have.
I think it would have been her John.
Yeah, maybe.
The elimination that did happen was shocking.
Yeah, we'll get there. We get to tribal council, or as we're getting to tribal council, Sean and Rob, man, they lay into John. Like it is a heated exchange. And Sean lashes out about the vote. Like it's kind of like season 1 where they're like, yes, they know that there's a quote unquote alliance, but like people are calling out this voting block and they're like, don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. Even though it reminds me a lot of season 1.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Something new this season, which continues, is if you have individual immunity, if you feel safe and you want to save an ally, they can they can let go of the immunity necklace and give it to somebody else.
That's what I've been waiting for, because I told you I've seen the clips of the tribal councils, and I always love it when they give it to someone else and everyone's shocked.
Yeah. It's a rarity when they give it to somebody else, and there's been good and bad things that have happened that way. But this is the first time that it's up in the air, and you can see that they're all like, never thought that I could give this away. What happens if I do? Like they're thinking about it. Kathy decides, of course, not to give up immunity. V and the current Row 2 members, except for Kathy, they do stick together and they vote out Rob. Boston Rob is gone. In his first season, he doesn't even make the jury.
Yeah, that was a little shocking.
Yeah. Which to me, honestly, this, I mean, we've talked about it. Rob is in All-Stars.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, this is like the second or third time I think I've ever watched this season, because it's not one of necessarily my favorite ones. I don't know if Rob does enough in this season to warrant being on an All-Star season, like the first All-Star season. He's good and he's entertaining, which I'm sure that's the aspect.
I think that's probably where they got that from. Is he's
entertaining. He's loud. He's in your face.
You need that TV time guy.
Yeah. But like, what he didn't gameplay wise, he didn't do much to warrant. Like at this point in time, he's not a Richard Hatch. He's not a Lex, an Ethan, a Colby. He's not at this point in time. Right?
Yeah.
So episode 8, Rob is gone. Soliantu congratulates on each other about making it further. They're making it one more. Sean made it evident that he has a gas problem. That's just funny.
They almost die by tree.
Yeah. Well, the general, says that the Marquesian diet is really affecting Sean, and yeah, 2 trees have fallen near their tent because of a storm, and you're right, they were lucky. Kathy asked Zoe if she, John, Robert, aka the general, and Tammy were planning on voting her out if she didn't have immunity. Kathy didn't believe Zoe when she denied it.
She's being found out so quickly.
Yeah, and she's trying to play dumb, but she's not believable. Like, I think she got caught and she's backtracking, and it's very obviously that she's backtracking.
You know how I got really pissed in Africa about the one girl? I was annoyed with her the whole season.
Like Zoe.
Yeah.
It's weird because like she comes up with this, but like it's not like she's gotten a ton of TV time, so it's almost like
every time she is on TV, it's just like, shut up.
Yeah, like you don't have her the game behind it to back it up. She there's been stronger characters to feature more on TV.
This reward challenge was hilarious.
Talk about something so just random. Let's go fly a kite. Make a kite.
But obviously difficult.
Clearly, people have never I can fly a kite in about 2 seconds. You get me on a beach, but again, growing up near Myrtle Beach, like it was an every summer thing. But yeah, you have to make a kite, and you have to get it up to a certain height, like pretty much getting the string all the way up.
Yeah, all the way through to they had like a blue marking on the thing.
And these people suck.
It was bad. I was like, are we really wasting time here? Like, this is...
People are frolicking, and they're trying to throw it up, trying to drag it. It's hilarious, but man, these people suck at flying a kite.
But Kathy wins.
Yeah, and Kathy is really starting to, build that alliance with Nalia and Pascal even more, and talk about to ensure them being stronger, they've got to go after their older former team members, the general and Zoe, and John and Terry, for them to have a chance. If not, they're just going to get run over. And the funny thing is, what the prize is for this reward challenge is a king size Snickers bar. Got to get that product placement in, a trip to the coral reef. So, but yeah, Kathy wins. And of course, we've talked about, is it a good thing or a bad thing about winning a reward challenge and being away, because people will talk about you. Voting strategies are really trying to be talked about. Nalia and Pascal. The talk is about, are they planning on voting Sean out next? Kathy was nice and shared her entire Snickers bar with the rest of the tribe when she came back. And I felt, and John was being an asshole. He's like, I don't know if I would do it, but thanks for giving it to me.
He's a dick.
He's an asshole.
And they were going to give this man this game until they smartened up. This man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Somebody didn't call him out. There's your winner. And he strictly said, he's like, candy bar's not enough for me to change my vote. Like, he's still going to vote out Kathy. Sean is really trying to get in with Kathy and hopes that him and Nalia and Pascal will kind of follow, like what that Nalia and Pascal will follow with Kathy and kind of join him, because they see that John
he's
and
not
Tammy.
trusting me at all.
No, because she's trying to be that floater and get like just get further. You know, Nalia is kind of naive to things, and she disagrees with Kathy along the way that there would be alliances, and they're more vulnerable the more they try to act and speak out. But Kathy is not having it. She's not going to be a pawn to get John and Tammy to make it to the end.
Yeah. Nalia's the
Pascal,
one where I don't know if she knows there's a game going on.
yeah,
I think she's having fun hanging out with her grandpa.
Yeah. Here Pascal chooses not to align with Sean and V. And John really felt confident that he had Pascal and Leah in his pocket. Immunity challenge, the players are asked, pardon me, again, haven't slept.
About their life and survival.
Yeah, like each player has a station with 3 ropes, each tied to a bundle of coconuts hanging from a tree. A correct answer gives the player the right to cut one of the other player ropes. This is something that you'll see further down the line, and there's where it's like questions, and you can target people by chopping ropes, and it's sectioned off, so it takes 3. There's a really cool one where there's life-size masks, like clay masks of the players, and it's very cool. It's very, very cool when we get to that point. Like that, because it's a clay mask, but it looks like this player or that player.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool. And the thing is, instead of coconuts falling, it's like a battering ram. So after the third person hits you, it breaks the clay pot. It swings and breaks it. It's very cool. Yeah. Then the last player with at least 1 bundle of coconuts wins. Sean is clearly on the outs because he's the first one being eliminated.
And
Followed
he
by
was
V.
so shocked, and it was amazing.
Yeah. V's followed up, and then Kathy, all of whom are noticed, this is where they screwed up. This is where that alliance screwed up here, folks, because John and Robert, Tammy and Zoe, it's very easy to see that they're working together and clearing out the others. And
Absolutely.
this is where they screw up. Man, I'm about to pass out after this. But this is what ruins John's game. This is what this one challenge is what screwed up his game. And you know that he looks back on this and goes, shit.
Yeah. Poetic justice at its best.
And it brought to light for Pascal, like, all right, there is a voting block here, and I'm not a part of it. So what do I do? Tammy wins at the end. Afterwards, V, she talks about that she senses arrogance among those 4 in an alliance. Sean is backing up that 100%. And Pascal and Nalia, they're angry. Like, they're straight up angry. Like, those confessionals of them afterwards, like, you see how heated they are. Like they're pretty much saying, like, those 4 are denying there's an alliance, but yet clearly there is one.
Yeah.
And in a very shocking turn of events, Pascal and Nalia side with Kathy, Sean, and V, and John is voted out. He is our very first member of the jury. Did you see this coming?
No. I thought motherfuckers were going to give this man the game.
Right?
I was getting pissed because of it.
Yeah. I was right there with you. John is not one of my favorite players ever. Thankfully, he's gone. We don't have to discuss episode 9. It's a recap episode like they do. So
You mean? No, I told you episode 10 was the recap. Episode 9.
okay, well,
Yeah.
somewhere in there's a recap. So the
Yeah.
last one we're going to discuss is this next one. Sean is overjoyed. Sean, I feel like, feels like he's got new life in this game. And I feel like for Sean, it was vengeance for Boston Rob going out. Like,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
took out my dude. Goodbye. Kathy, Nalia, and V and Pascal, they're all excited.
Zoe keeps on getting caught in lies, like right off the bat.
Tammy.
The thing with Zoe is lying's part of the game, but she's bad at it, so she keeps on getting caught.
Mm-hmm. But Tammy and Robert realize real quick because Zoe is like backtracking, like, I'm not in an alliance, I'm not associated with them. But Tammy and Rob, or Tammy and the general are very much like, we're the outcast now. There's only 2 of us. Like, we only have 2 now. And it's everybody is questioning Zoe. What's your intentions? Who are you with? Yeah. Like, you were with us. No, she says, no, I wasn't. Like, it's like, but yeah, Zoe is horrible.
Yeah.
At this game.
The fact that she's made it this far is actually impressive.
Sometimes you got to bring along some dead weight just as an extra vote for yourself.
True.
Like, you see it in other reality shows too. You see it in Big Brother.
Yeah.
And sometimes people make it to the end in the finals because they know that the other people know they can beat them.
Yeah.
Like, reward challenge. They're separated into 4 teams of 2 by random. Each team has 3-foot bamboo chutes, and it's up to the team to fill them with coconut juice using coconuts from the shoreline or from the parcels anchored in the water. So they have a choice. It's what's closer or take a risk and go out and get what's in the ocean. Once retrieved, the coconuts must be cracked and drained into the chutes. First team to fill their chutes to the top wins a helicopter ride over the Marquesas and a horseback ride with an authentic Marquesian feast. Again, this is that we talk about these early seasons being about the culture and them utilizing the culture. This is the reward for that here.
And as somebody who's had a lot of Islander food and done a lot of luau's, fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Great food. Food looked good. Food looked great. So the teams were Sean and Pascal, Tammy and V, Kathy and Robert, and Nalia and Zoe. It's funny because the 2 people who at first did not get along, Sean and Pascal, went.
Did phenomenal work.
And they talk about it. Pascal talks about it, and Sean does too. Like, you've got an older Caucasian judge from the South.
From deep South Georgia.
And then you got a young African-American male from New York City.
Yeah, from Harlem of all things.
Like, and they talk about how, like, in the outside world, it's possible that
they don't talk at all
ever, and they get along so well once they get a chance to.
Yeah,
like
that is society, folks. You might not know, but you get along with people that you think you wouldn't.
To quote 2 amazing prophets, Bill and Ted, be excellent to one another. That's the heartwarming message for Michael and I this week. Be excellent to one another. So yes, Pascal and Sean, they get to go to this amazing Marquesian feast. They see how the food is cooked underground, and there's entertainment and dancing, and they dance with them. The best part though is they're trying to smuggle the food back to the camp for the other players, and
that was amazing.
And Pascal's like, I'm trying to hold my pants because my pockets are all full.
See, that was great. My favorite part though, Sean trying to hit on every woman there was.
Yeah, but she's a little too young for me. And I'm like, why are you bringing it up then, Sean?
It was awkward and
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yep. Even in front of Sean, we talked about this season being the first big one where religion is really playing into the players' game, and
Yeah.
they have a big prayer before the meal, which even the locals don't. It's not like they don't seem to have a problem with it. They both.
That pig looked delicious.
Yeah, it did.
That
Yeah,
was
it did. Might have been like one of the prettiest cooked pigs I'd ever seen.
as somebody who's had pig cooked like that deep in the ground. It's amazing.
I'm sure. People are scrambling back at camp. You got Tammy and the general. They feel like
Backtracking
outcasts.
like motherfuckers.
They're trying to okay, cool. They get with Nalia and Pascal. They give them great move with John, but what can we do to build a foursome here? Zoe's trying to be friends with everybody, and what she's doing, she's making shell necklaces. Again, it's like what Hunter said at the beginning of the season in that tribe. There's priorities, and we need to focus on the priorities before we do shit that doesn't make sense. And Zoe's just out here doing shit that don't make sense, trying to win people over. And I'm sorry, shell jewelry would not keep you here.
But it's only for the ones she likes and wants to be friends with. Kind of like homegirl from Africa. And that's what caught my eye. I was like, oh god, you're doing what the youngins did.
Yep. They get some tree mail, and it's a hint towards immunity challenge, and it's stilts. So they practice at camp, and the immunity challenge is literally it's part of Marquesian culture. It's almost like stick fighting. The best way I can describe it is if you're in a pool and you're playing chicken where you're on somebody's shoulders, it's kind of like that, but you're on stilts. And just like flying kites, they all suck.
It was hilarious.
There's one person who actually can do it, and that's Tammy, and she wins individual immunity.
I wonder if she had a history with stilts, because it was actually impressive how she was able to pick it up.
She's at least walking. The others can't even get on them. After she wins, though, there's a big debate on who's gonna go. And
in the confessions, General's already angry and bitter, and he hasn't even been eliminated yet.
Yeah, he just kind of stays that way. That's the General. But yeah, they just vote out. I feel like what somebody could have done, they could have pulled Zoe in as an extra vote and got her a little bit further. But at that point, I think they were just all just like, she's wishy-washy as hell. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So, John and Zoe make up our jury so far. Thoughts on the initial start of the jury?
Not shocked at all.
John, you said.
Yeah, John, yes. But Zoe, no. I honestly thought she was going to be the beginning of the jury.
I know you finished the season completely, but at this point, were you expecting it to be a bitter jury?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Because those are two bitter human beings.
I mean, the rest of the tribe, they're either in a really cohesive group or they're not. And I think that what makes them, as we get talking about it in the next episode, as the jury continues to be built here, they're bitter because they did get outplayed.
Yes, absolutely.
They thought that they were untouchable, and they fell short really quickly, and it's their own damn fault. So
yes.
Well, that's where we're going to wrap this one. Short, sweet, and to the point. Before we get out of here, Michael, let them know where they can find you.
MJ Duplessis on all social media platforms. You can, of course, catch me here. You can catch me every other Thursday on Cold TV for learning the ropes, which I will be taking over starting in 2 weeks.
That just means he gets to shamelessly plug World Championship Wreckage like every 5 minutes.
Probably might happen.
Yeah. This segment brought to you by World Championship Wreckage. This segment brought to you by Survivor Reignited on World Championship Wreckage. Jeremy's going to be like, nope, you're done.
Catch me with my show Inner Circle with Wheels, where I interview my talented friends. And every Monday, Netflix and Raw with Pro Wrestling Wizard Doug and Ring Queen Michaela. While we watch Monday Night Raw, that's always a good time. Very entertaining.
Very.
And then when our lives kind of are able to coincide, Queen's Court will come back, people. I know I say this all the time, but it will. We promise. Things just happen.
3 very busy people. I talked to Bree this week for the first time in like a month and a half because we haven't had a chance to. She's been busy. I've been busy. And her response when she got back to me was, I know I've been busy with work too. She's like, and I know you always are. And I'm like,
yeah.
Yep. Where you can find me, DadHat Wrestling, all social medias, everything going on from talking about books, pro wrestling, pop culture, and dad joke here and there, which, by the way, you want to hear a good dad joke while I'm thinking about it?
Yes.
What happens when a telescope and a microscope run into each other?
What?
They kaleidoscope.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
It's so good. It's such a good one.
It's so funny, but so childish.
It is. Have I ever told you my favorite one about the Little Mermaid?
No.
Why does the Little Mermaid wear seashells?
Why?
Because she grew out of her bee shells. Good night, everybody.